welcome to another one of my videos from my summer video series. And this is a little extra video this week. I will be going through some of the techniques I use with my Cameo, and I hope you learn something new. And I will also be creating a layout using cutouts from my Cameo and also using some masks I created. Now, I do have the designer edition for the Silhouette Studio, but that's not a problem because everything I will be showing you today you can do with the simple version. So, first things first, I'm just going to remove this background. Now, when you open your Silhouette Studio, you will see this is your cutting mat, okay? The first thing I would like to show you is how I create my own titles. Now, I really like the look of titles that I found in the Silhouette shop. I'm going to try and, no, it's a little bit below. As you can see, I haven't classified my cuts yet, but if I have the time, I will. Now, I really like the look of the today here and the everyday. Now, you don't have all the words available. There are only some words. And I have used the today a lot, I have used the everyday a lot, but I would like to use something else, so other words but with the same effect. So I'm going to go back to my layout. Now, what I've done is I've downloaded quite a lot of fonts and installed them onto my computer. And normally, once you've installed them onto your computer, if you start your Silhouette, they will also be in the Silhouette font database. So that shouldn't be a problem. Now, if you want to write a text, you're going to click here. You've got all your icons here in the left-hand corner. You want to click on the little A, okay? And here I'm going to write the word, for example, amazing. Okay. Now the standard font they use is Arial. So you could just cut that out. I'm just making it a bit bigger, sorry, so that you can see it. Okay, so that's amazing. So if you want to send this to your Cameo, you could, okay, and you will have the letters amazing like that. Now, I do like the cursive look of the today and everyday cut files from the Silhouette Studio, and I would like to create something similar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to here, if you have a look on the right hand corner, you've got your text style, and here you've got all your fonts. So I'm just going to scroll down and have a look. I've got several fonts that are handwriting fonts. So here I've got Betsy's hand. That's not really nice. This one is called Callie hand. This one is I quite like it, okay? If you want to use this one, you'd have to really enlarge it. Otherwise, it will get, as it is quite fine, it gets a bit messy if you cut it out. So that one is quite nice. You've got the Chanel here. Okay. This one is quite nice as well. Okay. Now one that is used quite a lot as well, I'm just going to type it in, is Pacifico. Okay. So this one is used quite a lot as well. Okay. Now, what I've also done is, this one is my favorite is Hello Hand Letter. So again, it's a really fine one, but I think it looks really great. Now, if you look really closely, I'm going to try and enlarge it so that you can see it. Okay, I'm just going to select my shape again. Oops, so I'm going to select it again. There we go. I'm going to enlarge it so that you can see it. If you have a look here, you can see that the letters overlap. Now, if you send this to your Silhouette Cameo now, it will cut out these spots as well. So you will end up with something really messy. Now, what you want to do is we're going to try and weld everything together. Okay, and to do this is really easy. So you're going to go to the bottom. Okay, here you've got all the series of icons again, but they are really at the bottom of the program. And you've got on the far right, you've got, this is an offset, select shape. And just next to it, there's the symbol of weld selected shapes into one shape. Okay, so if you press that, voila! Okay, everything is welded together except the I with the Z. Okay, now I would just leave it like that, print that, and then I would have 3 parts. I would have the amaze, and then I would have the ing, and then you have the dot. Okay, and just stick that down. If you want to try and weld this, you could. Okay, we're going to try. I'm just going to take this part. You can see everything is welded together, and I'm going to overlap it a bit with the Z from the amaze. Okay, and again I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to push my weld button. So now what has happened is that I've welded, okay, this all together. Now my eye is still a little bit off, so I'm going to put it back there. I'm going to select everything. I'm going to reduce the size. There we go. And there's my amazing. Okay, I don't like the look of the eye welded to the Z, so I'm just going to undo that. Okay, up. Okay, it's quite a little bit because I've been moving it around. Okay, so I'm just going to put that back where it used to be, like that. I prefer it like that. I'm going to reduce it, and there we go. We've got our amazing. So that's my first one. Now, there we go. So that was for the first technique I use. Okay, so that's creating your own text using a font. Okay, now what else you could do is, I'm just going to have a look here. As you can see, I've got quite a lot of borders. This one is really one of my favorites. Okay, again, I use everything. I use the cutout itself, and also what is left over for masks or anything else. Now I really like the look of these. Okay, these little tabs with text in it. This one was one I downloaded from the Silhouette store again. So we've got congrats, good times, you were meant to make a difference, live your dreams, etc. Now these are all cute. I really like the idea of the banners with the text in it, but graduate in 2012. I would like to make something similar. So I'm going to have a look at one of my shapes. So let's have a look, see if I can find a little, okay, here. So here we've got 5 layered shapes. So if I'm going to open that, you'll see I've got 5 shapes, and they're each in a different size. Okay, now as you can see, this is all one shape. Okay, so I don't want to print all of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my shape here, okay, with all my labels in it, and I'm going to go again to the icons on the bottom of the silhouette, and I'm going to click. This is the second from the left, and it's, if you look at it, if you hover over it with your cursor, you will see it says ungroup selected shapes. So what it's going to do is it's going to take each of the shapes from this file, and it's going to ungroup them. So they will each be separate. So if I do that, up, okay. Now if you click on them, you can see they're all separate. Okay. Now I just want the ones with here with the little banners. So I'm going to try and delete most of them. Oh, I've taken my amazing. Stay there. So these I'm going to, okay, I'm just going to take one of them. Okay, here. So again, this one you could increase in size, make smaller. So I'm going to enlarge it just a little bit. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to write, again, I'm going to click on the left hand side. I'm going to click on my A, and then I can write in my shape. So I'm going to write the word family. Now as you can see, I've still got the hello hand letter selected, so I'm going to change that, and I'm just going to go back and take, no, don't like that one. I do like the copper plates. Let's have a look if I enlarge that. So there we go. So family. That might be a little bit too fine. Have we got another one I like? Maybe the copper plate. Okay, this one's better. So copper plate also has a copper plate Gothic bold, and that, but I prefer that. Okay, so there we go. Now I think it still is a little bit too big, so I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. So there we go. We've got our shape. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's another one. I could send this to my silhouette. I could send this to my silhouette now. Now, if you want to print this, okay, you're going to put your paper into your machine, and you're going to push on the button here at the top where it says send to Cameo, and you can just press on cut and it will cut. Okay, now I'm going to close that and just show you the last thing. Now, if you have any specific questions, if you want to, I could show you how to scan an image and then make a file out of it. Just write one in, just pop it in the comments and I'll see what I can do. Okay, so here you've got the circles, the scalloped circles. Okay, and again, this is all one big shape with different shapes in it. So once again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unselect them all, okay, and I'm going to create little I'm going to place these circles into my scallops. Okay, and what that is going to do is it's going to create me with a little borders. I'm going to try and take a smaller one, see how that looks. For example, you're going to, there we go. So I'll still have my circle and I'll have my scallop, but my scallop will be, oh, there we go. Okay, I'm going to do the same with this one. I'm doing this because I have an idea in my mind. Don't know if it will work. Okay, there we go. And the last one. Okay. Now, what I do is if I want to create a mask, I'm just going to show you. I have loads of cardstock in colors that I wouldn't normally use. For example, this lovely brownish, okay, now, if you've noticed, if I use cardstock, it's white or it's craft, or I would go for nice pale colors or gray, but I tend to not use the brighter colors, or I'm not that much of a cardstock user, unless it's really the basics. So what I do is when I want to create my own masks, I use the cardstock that is just piling up in my scrapbooking area. So, for example, I really like the look of, let's have a look. Something I could use. This one is quite, I like this triangle background. So I'm not going to make it too large. Okay, probably like this would be good. Okay. Now, if you cut this out, you will be left with this, the outer border here, and then the inner border with all your triangles. So your paper will detach. So what I'm going to do here, this is, oh, sorry, I keep kicking the tripod. I'm going to zoom in. Oh, that's a bit too much. Okay, there we go. I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to take my rubber. My rubber is here, just below the tab for writing. So I'm going to take my rubber. I'm going to take a square. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase the sides here. Okay, so I'm going to. Okay, now you do have to be a bit careful. might be a way to do this a lot easier, but I'm going to. So once you have erased the border, zoom out a little bit. Okay. Okay. Now once you've taken out the border, when you're going to print it, you will only You'll only have to take out the squares, the triangles here, and then you'll have a mask that is attached to your cardstock. There you go. So I'll continue that later. Okay, it's a bit of a. There's probably another possibility, something like. But as for now, this is the only one I have found. So well, anyway, so that's the idea. I do think you get it. Okay, so once you've done that all the way around, you can print it out, cut it out, and then you'll have a very cute triangle mask. Okay, I hope you've learned something new. There's another video just following this one, and in that one I will be creating my layout and using some of the masks I have created here and the cutouts. See you soon, bye!